PharmaPhobic is powered by Achieve the Lifestyle, a company dedicated to helping you empower your health, redefine your lifestyle, and all for the health of it. You're listening to PharmaPhobic, where we challenge the state of health in America. I'm Janie, a physician assistant, and I've seen how healthcare keeps people dependent instead of truly healthy.
And I'm Dan, a veteran turned fitness pro here to uncover the truth and explore simple and sustainable health solutions. From big pharma to big food, we're exposing the conflicts of interest keeping us sick and finding better ways to take back our health.
No fluff, no gimmicks, just real talk, real solutions, and a little bit of fun along the way.
Hello there. Welcome to another episode of PharmaPhobic, where we help you become the strongest, healthiest, and most capable version of yourself. This is brought to you by Achieve the Lifestyle. As always, guys, I'm here in lovely company. First and foremost, we have the lovely podcast doggo. She's in the building, Maggie Moo.
There she is, right in front.
At our feet. I really wish Maggie...
Of who? Mommy.
Oh, my God. Oh, she's my doggo. I really wish Maggie could just jump on a chair and we could put little headphones on her and she could join the podcast.
She passed out because her and I had some Zoomies this morning.
Cheetah baby.
She's a little torpedo. She jumps from the couch to her bed and she'll... Phew, phew.
That's what staffies do. She is very much a staffy, very much.
So she,
I also am here, as you can see, because she's talking already, with my lovely companion in podcast and life. The wife, bars, Miss Janie Brown. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. So we got some stuff for you today. We're gonna talk about some stuff about healthy stuff, not so healthy stuff. You know, just what we always do in the podcast of PharmaPhobic. Starting out, we recently returned from a trip to España.
Which is why we are tired.
I never feel jet lagged necessarily. Maybe I do. Maybe I'm just tired all the time, and I don't know what not being tired feels like. It's all the same.
Okay.
Yeah, and by the way, it said España, but I think it's the C's. I'm pretty sure from what I caught.
España.
So it's regular S on that, but I like making fun of them, so I just put the th on everything.
Yeah.
Very much.
Like gracias.
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 Yeah. It's being Puerto Rican, obviously, my knowledge of Spain is a good bit, having not been there before, because most of the history we learn relates to Spain and the United States, of course, because we were under Spanish control for 800 some years, till 1898. Yep. So I knew a good bit about Spain going in. We were there for a family trip. My mother turned 70. Happy birthday, Mom. And I guess that's what she wanted. So my sister and my brother-in-laws, they all planned this awesome family trip with the aunties and stuff and our nieces to Spain.
Yep. And
yes,
your youngest sister, Cynthia, got proposed
engaged.
to.
Oh, yeah, she got engaged.
So congratulations, Cynthia and Andreas.
Yes. That was pretty. That was very emotional, very pretty.
And that was fun because he did it in a park, a beautiful park. There was a peacock.
In Granada, yeah.
And it was during golden hour sunset, which is the best. And he had hired a photographer to come take some candid photos because it was kind of the cover. Hey, we're going to take family photos so everyone dressed nice. So they, took pictures of the whole family and then separate off by couples. But then Cynthia and Andreas were the last couple, and then that's when he proposed. And so the photographer was able to get some candid shots, which is awesome. I was sweating profusely because I was in charge of FaceTiming Andreas' mother and making sure she was able to see it, but the connection kept dropping. So I was like pouring sweat.
And it was also 100 degrees in Granada. Like it was, by the way, Granada is it's very pretty. Like I think that we went to Barcelona and Granada. My family's still there.
Is it Granada or Granada?
Granada, but I'm saying it in English.
You're saying it like Grenada.
Yeah, like in America, so they understand what I'm talking about. It is Granada, yeah.
Originally, it was Garnata because
it's an Arab word.
Yeah, an Arabic word. But then the Spanish came and they're like, no, Granada.
Yeah, during the reconquest of Spain. Granada was cool. It's really, I think it's like a nice little town. I liked it better than Barcelona. Barcelona is like going to New York City. It's just a big metropolis, and it's got cool stuff and all, but I think Granada was more interesting, like the white houses with the wood. It had a very Mediterranean vibe to it. And then Alhambra, that fortress there, impressive. That is probably the most impressive fortress that I've ever been to. Nuremberg, Prague Castle. I grew up next to El Morro in Puerto Rico. El Morro in Puerto Rico. This is definitely one of the most impressive places. We went to Dubrovnik in Croatia. This is crazy, amazing, very pretty place. So we learned some stuff while in Spain. You
getting emotional?
No.
Okay.
I swallowed and tried to talk at the same time. Although seeing my sister get engaged was I thought it was more emotional than I thought. And by the way, fellas, let me tell you something right here. Look at me in my face right here, guys. If you're doing something cool for your girl, like, crazy proposal, super romantic thing for an anniversary or whatever, keep that to yourself, okay? You're out here ruining relationships, guys. You're making me look like an idiot.
Okay,
I could just feel my wife looking at me like, you didn't do that for me.
False, 100% false. I wasn't even thinking that. I turned around to you because it was a great moment, right? It was very romantic and happy and all the good stuff. And I turned to you and you just look at me and go, I probably should have hired a photographer. Like, you're the one who brought it up.
I hear my boy my future brother-in-law making me feel less than. Guys, keep that to yourselves. Don't put it on Instagram. Because my girl's on that app too, so she's gonna see it. Don't keep it to yourselves.
No.
Do cool stuff for your women. Keep it to yourselves.
It was funny. So Dan's not the best at thinking about that type of stuff. When we got engaged, so Andres proposed to Cynthia. It was like we were on a dirt path.
In a nice garden.
It was
top
beautiful.
of a hill, really,
But he was wearing like white or cream colored pants and he dropped onto a knee in the dirt.
And linen pants.
Right?
Yeah.
Dan.
I was wearing my uniform, my winter uniform.
Were you wearing pants?
Yeah, I was wearing joggers because we were in Seattle.
Yeah, we were in Seattle, on the west part of Seattle, looking at the skyline of downtown Seattle.
Beach, for those that know.
And I just turn around and Dan's not on a knee, but in a deep lunge.
We were in a public park in Seattle.
He refused to put his knee on the ground.
Seattle used to be clean. This is 2021. It wasn't anymore. I was like, when I lived in Seattle, it was very clean. Now it's not. So I didn't want to. I was just deep lunge it out, had this been, 10 years earlier, I would have. But this time I was like, Seattle ain't that clean anymore. I don't know what's going on. I see other people's proposals now and I'm like, you're ruining it for other men, guys.
No, but then when we were talking to your Aunt Eileen, I know she's not technically your aunt, but for all purposes she is. But anyway, and she was saying how great Andreas is because he and Cynthia went to Spain last year for her birthday. And she was like, it was so great. Like him as a boyfriend, taking her on a trip for her birthday. And not even that. He was like reserving dinners, reserved her a massage, took her on a shopping trip. And I was just staring at Dan.
Well, and then I looked at her husband, at my auntie's husband, and we were both like, because we don't do that. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Keep it to yourself. Don't put it on Instagram. Don't announce that you're doing all this romantic stuff for your girl. Keep it to yourself. Do it. Keep it to yourselves because you're out here ruining it for the rest of us.
Maybe you should level up.
Come on. You something else.
I said yes to that proposal. I knew what I was getting into.
I didn't false advertise. I told you. I was like, listen, I'm not really good at this stuff. I don't really think about it. I was just, but I love you, My
favorite is when like holidays come around and Dan's like, I don't know what to get you. Well, you rewind to like a few months before And I'm dropping mad hints like, I would love a new KitchenAid mixer. And then he's like, okay.
Now, if you ask for appliances, I feel bad getting that because, it's like, I mean, some ladies genuinely want appliances and stuff, but I feel bad. I'm like, yo, that's like not a gift that I should just get that for you randomly, right? Versus getting it on a special day. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are. If your woman asks for
I just
an
giving
appliance.
an example. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
But no, it was great to see that. And what else?
And I gotta.
Oh, and then after the proposal, because it was at sunset and the park closes around sunset, the keeper of the grounds
Just left.
just locked the gate and left. And so our party of 12, the photographer, and then what would you say, like 10, 12 other people?
Yeah, there was
if
a
not
bunch
more,
of people in the park.
like
still.
families and couples. We all start gravitating towards the gate, and none of us can get out. We're locked in the park.
And this park is on top of a mountain, like a big hill, like it's at elevation. So I'm looking off the sides of like where the gates are and stuff, and it's like a drop down a cliff. I'm like, okay, guess we ain't doing that.
Yeah. And so thankfully the photographer is somewhat of a local and called the police, and the police had a key and came to let us out.
Here's a funny, like here's an idea of what it's like to grow up, Hispanic, very Hispanically. I told my mom is insisting that I wear something nice. She told me to pack something nice. Oh, we're going to do pictures, wear something, and we're going to do a dinner, wear something nice. I'm like, Mom, I'm always dressed nice. Got my black t-shirt, got my nice gym shorts, like really nice gym shorts. I'm always wearing something nice. And she's like, no, I want you to wear like regular clothes. And I'm 43 years old, guys. So I'm joking with my mom. And told her, Mom, look at my shorts. These are cool. I'm going to wear these tonight. And she's shaking her fist at me like, yo, I'm 43, Mom. Like, we can't do this. So needless to say, I've been hearing all my life that I will never be too old for a spanking from my mom. That's Hispanic life for you guys. Now you know.
Well, you were really resistant to wearing the pants because it was hot.
It's 108 degrees,
and
literally.
You had worn the pants to Sagrada Familia for the dress code in Barcelona, and you were cranky that day until you put your shorts on. Like there was a noticeable shift in your mood while you had pants on.
That was annoying. That was very annoying. It's 100 degrees. We're going to this church. Big debate there because this church, they want this dress code. I'm like, okay, we're going to a place of worship. It is what it is.
And we're coming from the last big church, religious
monument
that we had been to was the mosque in Abu Dhabi. And I can't remember the name of it. I know the name of it.
It's the Grand Mosque in Abu Dhabi. I don't remember the name.
But they were very strict about their dress code. Strict. If you say you just went on a whim and you didn't know and your shoulders were exposed, and especially a woman, you were wearing shorts and you didn't have anything to cover your hair, they would give you like this poncho thing that was a hood and went down to your feet, and it was like linen, right, and long sleeves, and that's what you walked around in, right, for free.
But it's also free to get into that.
It was free, yes, and they were strictly enforcing this dress code, which that's great. Set the standard, hold the integrity of this religious space, right? Sagrada Familia, we had bought the tickets in advance, like we were told to do, and they were very adamant on the app or the website about the dress code, right?
Which made sense.
You could wear shorts, but they had to be down to your knees. Dan was trying to get away with them hoochie daddy shorts.
They were not
in a
hoochie
religious
daddies.
Space.
I mean, I would have been showing some thigh meat, and these thunder thighs are something to behold.
So eating them shorts, so you would have violated the dress code, okay? And we get there, and they are not enforcing the dress code
at all.
At all. I saw girls walking around in tube tops, spaghetti strap
shorts,
tank tops,
all of it, at all.
Yeah, and men wearing shorts.
That pissed me off.
Yeah,
that really, and not only. Like I said, that's a whole separate conversation. That's probably not for this podcast. But as a Christian, I was very annoyed with that because I'm just like, yo, the hypocrisy, my boy, because you're charging a good amount
and
for
you have
people
to pay to
you
get
have to pay
into
to get
there.
in.
Yeah.
A good amount, 25 euro, 35 euro if you're going up on the tower. You're charging a good amount to get in here, but you're saying that you have these rules that, should supersede people getting in and the amount of people that you bring to this quote unquote attraction, because now I'm not calling it a church anymore, because you're telling me this is a place of worship, right? So I'm following your rules. I'm not a Catholic, but I'm gonna follow your rules, right? Because this is your place of worship, and I'm gonna respect it. And when I get there, I see that you're treating it as a commerce, as a business, not as an actual place of worship. Damn, Skippy, I am angry. I'm like, and I'm disappointed at the hypocrisy as a Christian. And it's sad to see that it's like, oh, no. This is business before it is a place of worship by what you're showing me, right? So whatever it is, if that's how y'all want to live.
And did the mosque in Abu Dhabi, did it have a gift shop?
They had some stuff. Yeah, they had some
remember.
stuff. But they had some gift shops, but it's $0 to get in there. And that, again, not a place. This is not the conversation that we're trying to have here, but I was butthurt because then I thought back to that mosque and I'm like, yo, they charge $0 to get in there. They adamantly enforce their standards, and people from all over the world go. They're Chinese, Russians, and they all follow suit and obey their freaking dress code. And here we are on the, Christian institution, and we can't do that.
Yeah.
For money? Are you serious? Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna leave it alone because I'm
and
getting
Dan
hot
did
again.
not do himself any favors because when he wears pants, he has to wear shoes, right? Real shoes instead of flip-flops. Chanclas.
Mm-hmm.
And he wore tall socks, right? It's 100 degrees. You can't cover your ankles. Arteries present superficially at the ankles and the wrists. Leave them open. You'll be cooler. And so I had to convince him to wear ankle socks with his pants because he didn't do it the first time. And was it more comfortable?
Yeah, it was
more tolerable.
It was better.
Yeah.
But I was able to make my mother happy and my sister because it was her moment.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun. It's good. So, bringing it into health now. It'd been a while since I traveled with my family like that. Like 20-some years probably.
Oh, okay.
I think the last time I remember taking a family trip, I was 21 years old. And it was right after I came back from basic training and right there in between finishing college and leaving for the Army. And we went to Orlando, baby. Come on, Orlando. We went to the Puerto Rico outside of Puerto Rico, and we went to Disney and all that stuff and Universal. But yeah, it'd been a while since we taken like a big family trip like that. I have a very fond memory of my grandfather from that trip where he used to put Tiger Balm on his hip because his hip was bothering him. And I remember walking in, we were staying in this timeshare, and I walked in and he's laying on the couch, sweating his butt off, just like profusely sweating. I'm like, Grandpa, you okay? He's like, I put the muscle cream on my hip. I forgot, and I jumped in the shower, and it went all over. He's just got that burn all over the place.
Oh, goodness.
I laughed so hard. I'm like, yo, because he's just sitting there suffering. Anyway, all that's a really funny memory of my grandfather. Anyway, it'd been a while. Yep. So I had my aunties, my sisters, the brother-in-laws, my nieces, my parents, and it was fun. It was fun. It's good to like that connection part of it, traveling and we're exploring together. That's something that I think, you look for ways to build connection with other people when you're tribing up and with friends and things like that. And usually things like challenges, right? Like doing, hiking the Grand Canyon, 29 miles in a day with a group of people. That's very bonding, like, shared suffering like that. Happens in the military. That's how it works. You make units suffer together and they get closer together. And then exploring, like, hey, going into the unknown like that, like, hey, we're in this new place and we're going to learn some stuff together. it's really cool for that connection part. So just, sharing food, cool meals together, that's always good too.
And
Cooking
also,
together, there's a little bonding thing there as well.
yeah, it also speaks to being just regularly active consistently. So that way, when you go to other places and you go to places like Spain, you can participate in more activities, see more sights. So where we were, cabs were readily available and easy to get to. But at certain parts, like especially after the engagement, when we got let out by the police, there were no taxis up where we were. We had to walk down to an intersection where there were taxis. And so the physical capability to do that. Dan and I broke off at one point to go up to a lookout area to see a sunset. Not everyone could do that. And so this speaks to that saying, you don't have to get ready if you stay ready, right? And just to be regularly active, not for any specific event, but when life calls, when trips call, when full experiences that you want to have demand you to have some sort of physical capability, you can rise to it and you can do it. And so,
yeah, we went to this thing in Barcelona, that park, the Güell Park, which is a Gaudí park. It's got all this, like, it's basically set up like a art thing, the whole park, but it's up on a hill, and it's, you're going up steps and inclines and steep inclines and stuff. And yeah, that speaks to that. Like, if you want to see all this park has to offer, you gotta have some sort of capability to go all these steep stairs and steep inclines and that sort of thing. Also, it's like we always say, right? Like, physical capability and fitness it's not just about vanity, right? It gives you access to adventure, to life, right? You can do more, you can derive more enjoyment out of things because more of the world is accessible to you.
Yeah. It expands your capability, right? So, Dan and I love to lift weights, but it's not always about, your 1 rep max or your fastest time. It's more about what is that work in the gym doing for your day to day, and how is it enriching your life through experiences. I read this book. I can't remember which one it was. I read 2 books that were pretty similar, but it was about the guidelines of along the ways of health is wealth, because at the end of your days, no matter how much money you have, you can't cure disease with money. You can't, you can't buy health to an extent, right? Some people can argue well, I have better access. I can afford these meds. Okay. But one thing that they say to do is that later on in your life, as you get older and naturally as our body declines, you're going to have to bank on your memories that you've developed or that you've acquired throughout your life, right? And those memories are what's going to sort of fuel you and help you later in life, make it through.
And feel good about yourself. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Where you're like 90 and you're like, oh man, I remember that time I went here and I saw this and did that.
Yeah. So it's kind of like using your money and resources to create memories, not just material things, right? And so Dan and I really practice that because we don't live in the best possible apartment or home that we could, because we'd rather pour money into travel and experiences to generate those memories to then have those carry on forever.
Yeah,
right?
And there's traveling is challenging in some ways, and then it's a perspective expansion when you're learning new things, right? And seeing different things that are not common to you. This is health too, right? Yeah. You're literally expanding your perspective and expanding your cognitive ability by learning these new things, by hearing new languages, by trying to navigate your day-to-day while you're there in a place where you don't speak the language. Granted, Spain, this is part of the reason why I never really had Spain on my travel list, because not only am I very familiar with the history, and I speak the language, it's there's not that much of adventure there for me when I'm that intimately familiar with the place, even though I haven't been there, right? That's why I like Eastern Europe, Croatia and Prague. And I want to go to Hungary. And I mean, I would love to go to Russia at some point because I have no idea about the history about that side of the world. And it's all like, wow, look, I didn't know this, and I hear the language and I'm trying to figure it out what they're saying. And, I'm reading and using Google translate signs and learning a word. I'm like, oh, this is how you say this in Czech or whatever. That adventure, really enriching your brain and your thought process, that's part of expanding your health, So all that to say that your body, right, is your vehicle for adventure. You have to keep it in good condition so that you can have access to these things. And things like being able to go on hikes, going up these steep inclines in Granada to go see a sunset on the drop of a hat. Like, we're like chilling. It was like, well, I want to go. Okay. I got some sass. And I was like, okay, spark in action. Boom. Lookout point. Okay, over here. Let's go walk straight.
You got sass from whom?
From my wife.
For what?
When we were down there and you were like, you gave me a little sass. You gave me a little sass because you wanted to see a sunset. You gave me some sass. It's okay. We're here now.
Yeah, I had said, well, okay, we live on the east coast of Florida. When do I get to see some sunsets?
She gave me some sass, y'all.
I did not give you sass.
It was sassy. And I was like, it sparked me into action right off the rip.
I don't remember.
So we went straight uphill to look on search for a lookout to go see a sunset. It was beautiful. Very pretty. And Grenada is like all white. It's like super Mediterranean, and it's like like the majority of the city's in a valley, but it's also like sprawling like this up both hills. It's very pretty, right? And the sunset was very pretty, but it took some sass, and I was like, we got to go. And we walked right uphill to this thing and all these steps. And being able to do that, and then you get there and you're like, oh, wow, look at this, is important. On the way down from that, there was like a little guided tour with maybe like 12 people. Mm-hmm. I would say the youngest person in there had to be like 65. Uh-huh. They were all older, but they're trekking up this hill. And I'm like, you know what? That's it right there. That's it right there. Like, being able to do that is important, and to retain your ability to do that is very important, because who's to say, like, if you're still traveling at 70 and seeing these new things, I would argue that the quality of your life is going to be a little better. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So really cool. Anyway, here's the part that Spain, here's another one. Heat exposure. It was hot.
Yeah.
Coming from Florida in the summer. It was
degree-wise hotter, especially in Granada, hotter than in Florida.
Yeah.
Because it was reaching over 100.
No, it was 108 in Granada.
Yeah.
Like 108 degrees. And then at night it would go down into the 80s, but it felt
No, it went down to the 70s.
It did? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well,
because coming off the mountain. Yeah.
But 108, that sun was unforgiving. And it's funny because Janie and I, we usually do the international trips in April. Where
we prefer the shoulder.
Yeah,
months.
Not high season. Like, this is high season travel in Europe. Everybody's traveling.
In Europe, yes, but it was low season for Granada, and I haven't looked into why. I'm assuming because the Sierra Nevada mountain, right there, skiing must be a thing. And so, because they're like, July is our off seaon.
But I was still bustling.
But it wasn't as crowded as
Barcelona. Was super crowded.
And yeah, it was busy, but it wasn't like jam-packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all that to say, we usually travel in cooler weather, so we walk a lot. And that's not by design, right? Like, that's how we walked all over Prague, and it was like, oh, let's go here. And then it's like, oh, this is 20 minutes away. Let's walk there. And next thing you know, you've walked the entire city. Mm-hmm. And that's how we like it, right? It's an adventure. You're walking, you're seeing, you're hearing things.
Yeah, and you get to stop for lots of snacks.
Lots of pastries, lots of European pastries. And the thing is, when it's 108, you almost don't want to do that. But we kind of made ourselves like, no, let's walk up there. Yeah, let's go do it.
We treated ourselves to gelato a lot.
Yep. I think I had 3 gelatos in one day. Yeah, I definitely did. It was lovely.
Yeah. Europeans don't drink water as much.
I know.
And so it was an effort to seek out water a lot.
And and when you go to a restaurant, they give you like a shot of water.
Yeah.
And at least it comes, they bring out this glass bottle, right? Which I appreciate that over the plastic.
Yeah,
but it's
so they don't do tap water. Well, in Barcelona, they don't because they get the water from the ocean, so they have to heavily treat it. I think Madrid, it comes from springs. I don't remember. But they would do like half a liter. They're like, is half a liter or like 1 liter okay for both of you? And we're like, no, we need one for each.
I'll take a liter to the head by myself.
I would say that our tabs were higher because we had to pay for the water.
Yeah, that water would come out like a bottle of wine. They're like bringing it out, like holding it all fancy. Here you go. And then they pour you a little shot of water from this thing. Just like, well, man, you boys don't drink water. But
I'm like, is it not appropriate just to drink straight from the bottle?
I know. I appreciate that it's in a glass, though. Every restaurant, the water's in a glass. But with the heat exposure, it says something, man, because we live comfortable in ACs. And there are people, it goes over a certain temperature and they're just like, they refuse to be outside more than walking from inside the building to their car. And it kind of makes you a little weak. It makes you a little weak, and you're out there, you feel the heat, and you're like, oh my God, I'm dying. That's not good. Part of building a resilient body, it's kind of like exposing yourself to things, and whereas, yes, it's uncomfortable, but it's not killing you, right? And I'm not going to keel over from heat exhaustion just because it's 100 degrees, because I expose myself to these things. Not to mention all the research on heat exposure, saunas in particular. It's crazy to me that, going outside at 100 degrees might be, super uncomfortable and you want to avoid it at all costs, but then you want to get in a sauna because of health. That's a wild place
that's
to
the
be
whole thing about
the biohacking.
No, that's the whole thing about your mental state about it, right? Because the same thing, people cold plunge, but if their hot water heater goes out, they're angry that they have to take a cold shower.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't cold plunge. So.
But it's the whole mindset thing.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the sauna, you mentally prepare yourself for it, but I have to be on the heat where it's.
Although I have to say, I don't see people that sauna regularly. I don't think they would complain about being outside in the heat.
No.
I don't see it. Because if you endure the sauna regularly, because the sauna can be torturous, especially if you do it more than 10 minutes.
And it's also some people, because we've had experiences, some people just hate to sweat, or they hate to sweat in their clothes if it's not, gym attire or whatever.
That.
And
I get that. It's very
I can get it. It is can be a little bit uncomfortable, especially because there was one time when we had walked up somewhere, I can't remember, and I was sweating, and then we go sit down in an air conditioned restaurant, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, and being a Puerto Rican, sweating is especially if you're dressed, because then you smell and you don't smell like that fresh cologne that you be throwing on, you know what I mean? My Puerto Rican boys will understand what I'm talking about. You want to be fresh all the time.
Yeah.
You want to smell good all the time. So sweating is I'm not working out, so sweating right now is not an option. So it feels uncomfortable, right? But I'm traveling and I'm on an adventure. It is what it is, right? We're going to walk up this hill and sweat our butts off.
No, it was great because I was a little worried that we weren't going to get as much activity as we usually do because we were traveling with a group, but we opted to walk over cabbing a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
And so.
And in Granada, that's straight uphill.
Yeah. And we like that. And it's not purely just to get more steps. It's because you're able to absorb more when you're on the ground looking around.
Yeah. You hear things, you see more things. Yep. You definitely experience it a lot better when you walk more during travel than being in a cab all the time. Yep.
Yeah. And now let's take a quick break. Have you heard about collagen and how amazing it is for your skin, hair, nails, digestion, and joints, but have no clue which one to choose? I've been there. A few years ago, I stumbled upon Bubs Naturals, and let me tell you, I've been hooked ever since. Here's why I swear by them. Bubs Naturals keeps their quality standards sky high from the start to finish. Their collagen blends perfectly in coffee, or really any other beverage you love. Plus, they've got convenient to-go packs so you can stay on track wherever life takes you. And it doesn't stop there. They'll donate 10% of all of their proceeds to charities that support veterans. How awesome is that? Oh, and they've leveled up their electrolytes too. The mixed berry, that's my absolute favorite. It's light, refreshing, and not overly sweet. What sealed the deal for me? Their electrolytes are NSF certified, made right here in the USA, and just like their collagen, every purchase helps give back. So do your body a favor, head to bubnaturals.com and use my code JANE20 at checkout for 20% off every time you order. Tired of looking like you lost a fight with a powdered donut every time you work out? Yeah, I was too. That's why I ditched the messy chalk and switched to Chalkless. Chalkless is a new, clean, residue-free grip enhancer that goes on in seconds and lasts for hours. No clouds, no cleanup, just a rock-solid grip. Whether you're crushing it in the gym, dominating on the pickleball court, or hanging on a rock face like Spider-Man, Chalkless has your back. I even hit my 350-pound deadlift PR at SummerStrong using Chalkless. Locked in, zero slip, total confidence. Ready to level up your grip game? Head over to chalkless.com and use code JANEBROWN to snag 10% off your order.
So anyway, the heat exposure thing, it's good for you guys. Don't just be inside in a freaking AC all the time. Get outside. It's 100 degrees, Dan. Hey, drink a little water, take your electrolytes, get your butt outside for a little bit. It's good for you.
Yeah.
Now here's where Spain gets, I'm gonna have to dock them. The food. I gotta dock you guys on the food. Janine's over there co-signing because she didn't like the food in Spain. We ate some good stuff, like all the gelatos, but gelato's not Spanish. But all the gelatos were fire. We had that pork belly we had at that one place, impromptu, at
that was
11 o'clock at night.
I had a potato omelet. What is it called?
A tortilla, they call it. A tortilla, but it's not a tortilla chip. It's potatoes and eggs, like made into like a little freaking, I don't even know what you would call it in English. Like a souffle almost, or like omelet. A quiche. Yeah, they call it an omelet in English.
But it's dense.
But it's almost like a dense quiche of potato and egg. Yeah.
I was like, not what I was expecting, but that's why I ordered it, because I'm like, I don't know what this is, but I like eggs, potatoes, and something else are all things I like. So let's see what this turns out to be. Mm-hmm. So it was that, and it came with a side of tomatoes with just salt chunks. Mm-hmm. Because, well, there's seriously like some giant rocks of salt on it, just right. So I took a piece of tomato, put it on a piece of that potato egg thing, and put a piece of pork belly on that. So good.
No, the pork belly was
and
crazy.
The tomatoes were drenched in olive oil. Oh,
that pork belly, and yes, when you combined it like that pork belly was so good. I was like, oh, this is so good.
And we had a pizza. We actually ate a lot of pizza.
Yep, we had a lot of pizzas in Spain too.
And this pizza was good because it was ham, egg, and arugula.
And it had some like ground beef in it too.
And yeah, pizza was good. So
when I'm docking Spain on the food, like we had some good stuff and some interesting stuff, and they do a lot of seafood too. Like good obviously paellas or paellas.
Paella.
Paellas are like really, everybody knows paellas. It's the European gumbo, if you will, or European jambalaya, if you will. Although you could say jambalaya is also European because it's probably French. But anyway, that everybody knows Spain for like all that stuff's great, right? But where I was surprised is processed foods and seed oils and things like that, the prevalence of them in Spain. I was like, man, this is kind of surprising, right? Because we've been in Croatia, we've been in Czech, we've been in Germany, and the foods are like everything feels super homemade, from scratch, super fresh, right? And these guys, they surprised me with how not that it was. Now, you could argue like, yes, hey, we went to the wrong places to eat, maybe, perhaps, perchance.
Well, yeah, it was a little bit harder with 12 people. So
yeah, perchance. But, something we always do when we travel is we go to the grocery stores and we get eggs and things for breakfast so that we start the day with a breakfast that we made, right? Mm-hmm. And then we're off on an adventure and we don't have to be subject to like, oh, I got to eat breakfast. oh, we got to stop for lunch because I'm starving because I skipped breakfast.
And
right?
traditionally in Europe, their breakfasts aren't as robust as Dan and I prefer.
Yeah, like
which happened at the airport because our flight was early and things opened later in Spain. And so just with the timing of when we had to be to the airport, the opening and things, we had to eat breakfast at the airport. And we ended up having to go back up to the counter and get more food.
Yeah, because they do like little sandwiches. This is in Spain, like little sandwiches. A lot of places are very pastry heavy. This happened to me in Argentina and Chile as well. They're very pastry heavy with their like coffee and pastry for their breakfast type of thing.
Which is fine in addition to
like
some meat and eggs.
Yeah, exactly. So we end up, hey, let's go buy some eggs, let's go buy some fruit, butter, this sort of thing, maybe a little meat, and make a nice hearty breakfast, and then we can take off, and we're held together the majority of good part of the day, and we don't feel like forced to feed in the middle of the day and that sort of thing. And you can kind of snack and then wait till dinner and have a good dinner, right?
More cost effective too.
Yeah, more cost effective too. You're eating out less. So this is where we start judging, right? When we go to grocery stores abroad, we've done it. We do it every place we've been. We did it in Dubai. We did it.
The fruit was good.
The fruit was really good. Fruit in Europe looks completely different. I'm gonna tell you right now. First of all, it's not waxy. What are we putting on these apples and these oranges and this stuff that it's all shiny when you walk in and stuff? That's not good. The fruit in Europe, it's opaque. You know, you're looking at a peel, that fake coating that Bill Gates invested in to put over fruit to make it look all waxy and preserve it longer, right? They don't have that. So fruit looks like it just got picked off a tree. It's smaller. The fruit here, they sell it to you by the pound, right? So they've like made these exaggerated versions of it that are huge, and you're like, oh, I need this big old orange. Like, that ain't real, bro. It's not. That's a GMO, my friend. So they're smaller, and they only sell seasonal stuff. So it was plums, it was nectarines, it was peaches. That's what they had, right? Fruit stand, and it's all seasonal stuff, and it all looks like it came from up the hill. So that was cool. But the eggs are not in the refrigerated section. They're out, so they're like pasture raised, like fresh off the farm type of eggs. And then this is where I started looking. I'm like, what's going on? Obviously, I can read all the labels because they're in Spanish. So I start seeing all the emulsifiers, all the seed oils, the sunflower oils and all this stuff. I'm like, man, there's a lot of it here. This is where I was like blown away by it. The meat. We went to buy some ground beef.
So that's not really fair because in Barcelona where we bought the ground beef, that was a legit grocery store. The place in
Granada.
It was a grocery store, but it was more like a bodega because it was like on a main strip. And so they had their refrigerated section was very limited. And so the meat that they had wasn't like a lean ground beef that we like, or ground turkey, whatever. For breakfast, it was more hamburger, like patties, and like when you get the packages of meat and they're in like it's like a plastic freezer bag or whatever in cardboard because it wasn't just ground. Like they don't have a butcher in that store.
Yeah.
And so, it was more preserved meat. Yeah.
Something in when you're traveling in Europe, when you're looking for organic, the word over there is bio.
Yeah.
So they'll put bio on it, bio whatever. That's the word for quote unquote organic. Read the labels, but now like if you're looking for pasture raised or whatever, on that side of the world, it's bio, what you're looking for. But when I grabbed the meat, I was like, oh, the color doesn't look right. Yeah. And I read the ingredient labels. Yes, guys, test the spirit, read the ingredient labels on everything, even meat, because I've caught this over here too, and I'll tell you here in a second. But then I start seeing the meat had colors added to it. It had like, ascorbic acid and other stuff added to it. I'm like, yo, what's going on?
They don't sell a lot of it, so it needs to stay, right? So it needs to be preserved. And also what they had a lot of was the the salamis,
Yeah,
the cured meats, which
obviously
they're
everybody knows
yeah,
Spain is
right. And so
charcuterie board city. Yeah.
this little store, it wasn't like a legit grocery store like the other place we went to. It was catering more to just easy grab things. Like they only had like one tiny cottage cheese because cottage cheese isn't a thing over there, but they had a ton of the other cheeses, right? That they traditionally use as like the fondue. I can't remember what it was called, but the queso blanco, whatever. And so, yes, they did have stuff at legit grocery stores because we were able to get it in Barcelona, but not at this tiny one.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as if you would go to a grocery store here versus a little bodega in a neighborhood where, yeah, they'll have eggs and fruit and stuff, but the selection is going to be very limited and likely highly preserved because it's not going to go quickly off the shelf.
Yeah. Well, in here, like back here, I remember buying ground turkey, which we always, we do it to make breakfast scrambles. And, there's like the organic ground turkey. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we buy 99% lean and then the regular one. And I'm reading labels. And I'm turning to read one, and it's ground turkey. And you'll see, it's got added water in some, especially with chicken, they'll do this, like it's, 20% water or whatever, they'll tell you this, or a 20% solution of water, salt, and like rosemary extract or something like that. I'm like, but I've caught sunflower oil added to your ground turkey. What? So we're just going to add a seed oil to ground meat for what particular reason here? Like, why do I want that in there?
Now, sunflower oil is not one of the hateful eight.
Yes, it is.
It is?
It is.
I didn't think it was.
Sunflower, safflower. Yep, it's the same thing. So
Is it?
Yes. Sunflower, safflower. Sunflower / safflower. So yes, guys, you're now witnessing.
Hey, you told me. You just got done saying I have to test the spirit.
You know what's happening right now, right? My wife is fact checking me and she's doubting that her husband knows what he's talking about. Go ahead and tell him.
So they're nearly identical, but they're not the same.
Okay, but they're what?
Nearly identical.
Okay. Say that again, please, for the people listening in the back. Can you go ahead and say that?
Actually, okay.
Can you go ahead and say it a little bit louder?
They're nearly identical, but not the same.
Thank you.
You said same.
Okay. What's nearly identical?
Not the same.
So sunflower oil and safflower oil are both seed oils.
One has a higher smoke point. One releases more harmful chemicals when heated, and one has more vitamin E.
Yeah, they can keep that because it also has hexane and all sorts of other deodorizers and BS that doesn't belong in your body.
Speaking of sunflower oil,
linoleic acid.
Speaking of sunflower oil, makes me, just a little side note, makes me really sad because I've been craving peanut butter pretzel bites.
Mm-hmm.
I can't find any without sunflower oil or canola oil.
Good luck with that. So it is. Now, here's the thing. I caught that, right? Because I read the label on ground meat that it's like, you'd expect it's meat. Grab it. But no, they added sunflower oil to this ground turkey. So I'm like, okay, we don't want that one. Let me get this one. Oh, what's this one got? Oh, nothing. Okay.
They also do it for taste, right? Because going back to what I've talked about in this podcast before, that mouthfeel, okay? Because they want the beef to be more flavorful. And that's what a lot of, in the U.S., we're programmed to want more of the grain-fed meat because it's more fatty. And so it has that taste where leaner meat doesn't really have that fatty taste to it. Even like regenerative farmers will say grain-fed meat tastes better than lean meat.
I disagree, man.
Well, it depends. Like for the standard American, they're going to say it tastes better.
Yeah, I really disagree.
Again, that's what we've been
it's a programming thing.
Yeah.
I really disagree. I mean, especially when you eat things like venison. That venison's super lean. It's probably one of the leanest protein sources available. Man, you know what you do? If you want a little fattier, you know what you do?
Add some butter.
Put some butter on it. Cook it in butter, baby. Like, come on now. Let's get right.
Somebody that put I'm at that point in my life where I don't care about material things. I just care about really good butter.
Yeah. Cook it in raw
I'm
butter.
like, that's me.
Put some tallow. Cook it in tallow. That's another one that people are not using. Like when we started cooking with tallow, like that just elevated things to a different level. Ghee's another one. It just like raises the taste profile on a lot of stuff easily. And then you don't have to put like a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of salt, but boom, done. You have a great tasting plate.
But anyway, so I think that meat in that little store was definitely not, we ended up just not getting any meat and only having eggs and cottage cheese because it wasn't.
But and then overall, I think it like, you know when you don't eat seed oils and then you have them, you can tell, right? Like that there's an aftertaste to food, right? And this is something with MSG as well. When people started not eating MSG, monosodium glutamate, it's terrible for you. We've known that it was terrible for us since the frickin' 60s. As the book I'm reading, Food Pollution Now, they're talking about it on there, and this book was published in 73. But it was very prevalent in our food till the early 2000s. And then it was like, oh, don't eat MSG. It's super bad for you. And all these restaurants have to run, and get MSG out of their kitchens. But anyway, it's a flavor enhancer, right? And when you don't eat it and you do eat it, you could tell. And I had that experience years ago. Seed oils become the same thing. When you don't eat them and you eat them, you could tell. There's an aftertaste to it. And the next morning there's like this breath of dragon's breath coming out of you that I'm like, yo, I don't experience this on a daily basis because I don't eat like this. Yeah. And when I do, there's an immediate change, right? We had that a lot.
We noticed it at the first restaurant. And at that first restaurant, I had ordered, what was it called? The secret or the secret ingredient?
The secret pork.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Iberian pork.
Yeah, the Iberian secret is what it was called on the menu, right? And so I ordered it, and I knew it was pork because I looked it up. And the waitress goes, how would you like that cooked? Medium? And I was like, what? Yeah. And she was like, she gave me options of medium rare, medium, or medium well. And so I said medium well.
Yeah, like it was steak, yeah.
And I was just like, I looked at Dan, I was like, did I just make a mistake? And I was so scared because in my mind, I'm thinking of the pork in the US, And I'm like, trust the process. And I'm like, I know the waitress took it back to the kitchen and they're like, oh, who ordered this medium well? Right? And so it comes out, it's actually very good. And I think they cooked it a little bit more for me because they probably saw I was scared. But it was not like the pork here at all. It did look more like a steak.
It did. It
was very, very good.
The Iberian secret, they feed it acorns. It's like a specially fed pork to create this meat. It's like the Black Forest pigs in Portugal and all this stuff.
But it was so funny because I was like, oh my God, am I going to have regrets?
Yeah. No, but it was good.
Imagine a medium rare pork.
Ooh, no, I'm not there. No. I'm all about adventure, but I'm not there.
The other thing that I did, so War Kitchen, if you guys don't follow them on Instagram, it's a great, great follow. But coincidentally, right before we went to Spain, they posted, they put up something about Spain's best desserts. So I screenshotted that and used that as a little bingo card for a while I was in Spain to seek out all these desserts. And we didn't hit them all because we couldn't find them all because it was by region, right? And we only went to 2 places. But we had the Basque cheesecake.
That was good. Basque cheesecake is fire. Yeah, the flan's good. Always good.
What was that creme brulee thing?
A Catalan cream.
Yeah, Catalan
Crema
cream.
de Catalan.
Yeah, we had that. We had piononos.
So as a Puerto Rican, I remember telling my mom, this is funny, right? And my aunties, I was like, oh, we're going to go eat a pionono. And they're like, where? In Puerto Rico, a pionono is like a lasagna, but it's plantains, ground beef in the middle, in between 2 plantains. Delicious. You could put cheese on top of that. It's delicious, right? So imagine these baked plantains with delicious seasoned meat with adobo all over it in the middle, baked, boom, it's delicious. So they're like, where are you going to get that? They get excited. I was like, no. It's a pastry, Mom. Here it's a pastry.
It's a little pastry. And so we went to this place that was well known for them, and they hand me a box of them, and they were okay. Then we went to like a little mom and pop bakery, and got one.
Oh, way better.
It was so amazing.
Way
and we
better.
went back there and got another one. And this guy just ate the whole thing. Didn't even share.
It was because the pionono's tiny. It's like a little, it almost looks like a miniature Cinnabon.
It looks like the very inside of the cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
Right,
Like
where you get to the last middle part.
With like delicious nata, which is like egg cream
thing.
custardy type of thing in the middle. And then it had powdered sugar and cinnamon all around it. My God, come on now.
I was like, our last Pinot Noir, and I'm going to bite. And I just look over and dance. Oh.
Well, and it's funny because we went to this one shop that's really popular in Grenada. And that's what they advertise. Like, oh, this is the place to get a Pinot Noir. And we got a whole box and, everybody ate one. And it was like, oh, it's good. Then we went to this mom and pop's little corner place, and that thing kicked the other, manufactured places butt.
Yep.
Like this is where it's at. Like the small guys always, the quality's going to be better. They're going to win 9 out of 10. They're going to beat them out,
And then the other pastry we had was one that starts with an E.
Ensaimada.
Yeah, ensaimada. Yep,
which is a big old kind of, not a croissant, but it's like a breaded thing with cream in the middle. It was really good.
It was really good. And the best one we had there was a little single woman bakery.
Correct.
I was so excited about this. Our apartment in Barcelona here, just you go out, walk around the corner, one woman run bakery. She cooks fresh bread and everything every morning. So, yes. Dan was like, let's just get bread at the grocery store. I was like, excuse you? So we got bread from her and it was amazing.
Yeah. All in all, that's where I was like, the food was Spain. That's where I'm like, man, I feel like we ate way more Cetos than we did in Germany.
Yes, agreed.
And then we did in Czech Republic, and then we did in Croatia, and we did in Dubai, So yeah, that's the little, I'm gonna dock them on. You could say, like I said, again, maybe we ate at the wrong places, but I had that taste in my mouth the whole time pretty much, which was kind of disappointing because part of traveling to Europe, it's like enjoying all these freshly made from scratch foods, right?
Also very popular in Spain, Five Guys.
Oh my God, they had Five Guys everywhere. I was like, I think in a walk around Barcelona, I was at like 25 guys by the time that we were done. And Granada too had a bunch of Five Guys.
Yeah.
It was so popular, crazy. Speaking of though, we went to another place and had a burger. And that burger was delicious. Mm-hmm. That burger was when you go to a restaurant.
Are you talking about the burger I had or the one you had?
No, I'm talking about the one you had was really good too.
Yeah.
But the one I had at that
I think mine
little
was
tapas
better.
place.
Yeah.
Well, because it had different flavors. Like I think they put like a curcumin thing in there, and it had some pickles
with a sweet bun.
Yeah, with a sweet bun. And then we went to this other tapas bar, and they had like a bunch of burgers, and I ordered one. It was an Elvira burger, and when you go to a restaurant and you order something, and the waiter goes like, "Good choice." Like he bumped me with his elbow. He's like, "Good choice." Yeah. I was like, "Yes, nailed it."
That was funny. At the place where I got the burger, it was an authentic. I can never say it right. You say it.
Catalonian?
No, it starts with A.
What, Iberian?
No, A. The restaurant we went to.
Andalusia. Yeah. And Andalusian. Yeah.
Yeah. We ordered 2 appetizers, so a burrata tomato salad, which was amazing.
And it had figs in it.
With figs and pepitas on top.
Whoa. Yeah. The figs and burrata.
Yeah. We'll be making that when figs are in season. And then what was the cannoli thing?
Canelon. It's like a cannoli. But it's a little different.
It's like with a gravy on top.
Yeah, it had a gravy on top.
Yeah, so that was our appetizer. And then I got the burger, and Dan, you got some pork medallion things.
It was lamb.
Lamb, excuse me. And we put in the order, and the waitress was like, "Are you guys really hungry?" And we're like, "Yes." So we're expecting, I'm like, uh-oh, because I don't know if we'll have time to eat leftovers because we were leaving the next day. It was not a lot of food.
No.
She underestimated us.
Yeah, well, I guess, they're used to rotund Americans. That's how a lot of places, they expect Americans to be fat. That's that's what we're exporting. We're like gluttonous friggin', fat butts. go places and eat all their food.
Now, I'm not saying that we were hungry. It was like a perfect amount of food. But it wasn't. She made it sound like we had ordered too much.
Yeah, and it wasn't. It was perfect, right?
Yeah.
But it says something about us, about portions and portion control, food quality too. Because here we expect to get these ridiculous portions. Otherwise, we feel like we didn't eat. And usually to do that, the quality of the food is not great. A lot of it is, you go to like mainline restaurants and it's a lot of prepackaged stuff that Janie could tell you about because she worked at Applebee's. How this stuff comes packaged and all this stuff.
We'll
and
never eat there.
Yep, and how they heat it up and give you this plate. And you think like there'd be a difference between Applebee's and like a more upscale restaurant. But now they're buying food from Cisco and there's a lot of pre-made stuff. And they just price it differently, even though they got the food from the same place and paid the same price for it. Ridiculous stuff that, we'll explore and get into on other episodes. But the portions over there in Europe obviously are smaller and they don't have.
I wouldn't even say smaller. I just think they're more appropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go to like really high-end restaurants and they like whisper food on the plate.
I can't stand
And so
that.
not like that. But like, for example, I had the burger. It was literally like handful of fries, which is enough, right? You don't need like a whole big basket. So, I mean, I just thought it was great.
Yeah, it says a lot. There's something to consider about portions and portion control and what's enough food and how many calories you're taking in when you eat. Like, you watch how they eat, and obviously they don't work out. Like, I always tell this, when you go to Europe, the amount of fit people you see is way less.
Yep.
It's almost shocking to see when I would see somebody like, oh, this guy came from the gym, he's jacked, or this girl, she could tell she works out. That's weird in Europe. Here, you see more fit people around. Granted, we're a bigger population, but our unhealthy population is way bigger than theirs as well.
In Europe,
right?
you just see more people who are just like
skinny, normal.
Well, no, they're just like their steady state cardio is great, right? Like they're just moving throughout the day.
Yeah.
They don't work out, but they're not sedentary.
And they're not eating, inordinate amounts of food for the most part, right? Although I saw something earlier in the year before we knew we were going to Spain that said that Spain's obesity rates are going up, much like China. We've talked about it here. You know what place isn't having rising obesity rates?
What?
Japan. They're really regular, but it seems like the world's getting fatter, even in places that you wouldn't expect it to be so.
Ozempic for everyone.
So you can talk about seed oils too. Like they start adopting it when we went to Mexico too. Where remember I was telling you, it's like, man, it feels like they're switching their lards and their tallows for more mazola and seed oils.
Well, you
and that
can
sort
see
of
when
thing.
they start to westernize their food options, obesity follows.
Yep. Happened in Brazil. We talked about it. It's happening in Brazil. We talked about it here too. In Mexico is a big case because, a couple years ago, their obesity rates rose exponentially and they became the second most obese nation in the world, right behind us, So things to consider because it seems like, what I was reading before we went to Spain was that it was happening in Spain. Their obesity rates were climbing. Yep. Very interesting. We had some other topics for you and we just dove deep onto this travel thing.
So one other thing, just because we can't move on to the other stuff, which is fine because I think that's going to lead into something else I want to talk about. So that's good that we're going to move it. But my favorite part, because I've never experienced this prior of Spain, was the flamenco shows. I was really interested in it because Dan's sisters, both of them, did that growing up. Mm-hmm. Was Cynthia more competitive in it, or no?
Yeah, she did. She did it more because my other sister was more of ballet.
Yeah, and so Cynthia and your mom and Iolani have all been to Spain because
of flamenco.
Yeah, and so Cynthia's recently gotten back into taking classes with that, which is super exciting. And so when we went to Spain, or we went to Granada, we had one we went to, and then we all liked it so much we ended up going to a second one. And the second one was amazing because it was in a cave.
It's an old school like that.
Yeah,
that was probably the way flamenco was meant to be seen.
And the little stage was in just on the floor in the middle, and tables, or excuse me, not tables, but chairs roll around. So you're literally sitting there and they're dancing right in front of you because there's only not enough for just one row of chairs. And just that style of dance I'd never seen. And I see how it's similar to tap, but probably more similar to like the Irish river dancing or the Irish dancing. And just like, it was awesome.
Yeah, and those girls, I was thinking about like the fast twitch ability of those girls. Like their legs got to be crazy strong because they're moving especially when they get it, they're moving and tapping so fast, right? And like the rhythms that they're putting out, like, girl, you really, them legs got to be strong because you're like making these crazy rhythms with their feet. And it was, I'm remembering my sisters dancing, right? And they were good, but these girls obviously been doing it longer and
they're
in
professionals,
Spain, and they're professionals, right? But what they were putting out was crazy with the way they were moving their feet and their legs and the rhythms that they could do. Yeah, pretty cool, pretty impressive.
And it was really interesting because, I was fortunate to have Cynthia to ask questions to because I didn't know nothing about it. And so there's a man singing and then a man playing a guitar and plus or minus, I don't even know what it's called, a drum box.
Yeah, like a box that they percuss on.
But the singing was beautiful.
I think he's improvising too. I think that there's like a song, but they're like improvising because it's like, when you listen to the lyrics, he's like telling a story.
Yeah.
Usually about some beautiful girl that he lost or some beautiful place, in Spain. Like he's talking about if you haven't seen a sunset in Granada, you haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And watching the guitar player because, flamenco style, I know is hard because Dan's told me it's hard, but also just watching him play is different than you just watch like just regular like blues or rock, right?
Flamenco guitar style is based off of classical guitar. Classical guitar is the hardest guitar style to play. And flamenco is derived from that. So it's probably the second hardest style of guitar to play. It's ridiculously hard.
So that was cool. And the first show we went to was more of a improvised, what Cynthia was telling me, because at some points, like I couldn't tell there was almost like a conversation between the guitarist and the flamenco dancer. And I couldn't tell, was the guitarist leading the dancer into what they would do, or was what she was doing determining what he would play? So that was really cool to observe. But what Cynthia shared with me is that the guitarist will play a tune and there's a sequence of a dance associated with that tune that they have to complete, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah,
then there was some...
It's like a crescendo, right?
Yeah.
But you think that she's dancing off the music, but the music is actually playing off the girl. Yeah. I didn't know that either. So if she picks it up, he's gonna pick it up.
Yeah.
And then it's a crescendo, and then she'll like boom, boom, do a couple stumps, and the goal is for her to stop and the music to stop at the same time.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And that was cool. And then the second one we went to wasn't really as improvised. It was more predetermined. And it was two women and a man, and the man had like told us that because they do like the people who are off to the side clap, and he's like, don't clap with us, right? Because they're specifically keeping a beat. And I was talking to Cynthia because I was like, it seems like it's like offbeat, and she's like, it is, because one's keeping a steady beat and the other one's doing the counter beat, and then they know to either keep with the counter beat or double the regular beat. And I was like, hey,
it was really
cool.
It put me, that second place is in a cave, right?
Yeah.
Like these little bars that they call caves, and you just sit around them and they'll like dance in the middle and stuff. And I kind of put me in this place where I'm like, okay, think about when people made flamenco, when it was created, probably in the Middle Ages, probably close to the Renaissance. And this is like a fireside thing, and these guys are singing about their day, right? And these girls just started dancing and clacking and doing all this stuff. But it put me in this place where I'm like, man, like humans are like, we're meant to be really creative, right?
Yeah.
And the guitar, I'm watching, I played guitar a long time. So I'm like watching the guy play. I'm like, man, he's doing some crazy stuff the way he's playing this guitar. I'm like, man, we're really meant to be like super creative, right? And then you go and see paintings and sculptures and things like that. And it just goes to show the way we're built, right? To this thing in between your ears, it like can create crazy things, right?
Also, I mean, yes, creative, but I look at it as we're meant to express.
Oh, no
Right.
doubt. And that process of creating and expressing and
Is a stress relief.
and refining, not only that, but it makes you grow too, right?
Yeah.
It makes like you start you're testing
Right.
and expanding your capacity and your capability by exposing yourself to opportunities.
Well, just
to
look at the
create.
example of the flamenco. That's an ultimate stress relief because you just said, what if they're like at the end of the day, they're by a fire, you're singing about your day. So it's an outlet, right? Because you're singing about it, you're getting it out. It's also, yes, expanding your mind because you're being creative about it, right? And then the physical dance is physical activity, stress outlet, right? So just think in modern day society, how do we express ourselves when we get home from work and we get on our phone and just look at TikTok?
Yeah, you're devoid of opportunities to like drop stress off, right?
So we
if
all
you
just
didn't
need to
work
do
out.
interpretive dance at the end of the day and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's the end of the podcast.
Yeah,
Bye.
it just goes to show. I also, this is a call out too, to like, we live in a condo and the days that that I come home early, right? I'm also amazed in not a good way at what people are doing, right? When usually I get home at like 9 after jujitsu and all that stuff. And I left at the crack of dawn. But the days that for some reason, like, there's no jujitsu or I get to come home at a normal hour, like 6 p.m. or something. And I see what people are doing. I pass this, there's one girl as I go up the parking ramp and she's sitting by the door to the parking ramp, smoking a cigarette, scrolling on her phone. Never fails. I see her. So I'm like, okay, this is her daily thing. I mean, we ain't going to the gym. We're not gonna like no hobbies. We ain't doing like we're not crocheting or painting or something. Like I'm okay. You didn't go to the gym, but I don't know. Let's go do something constructive, right? Doesn't fail. She's always doing that. Whenever go up here, 4th floor. There she is. And I will take the dog on a walk and I see what people are doing. And I'm not saying that you can't chill and unwind after a day of work. I don't know the details of these people's day. But I'm like, walk past people's balcony and there's cigarette smoke or weed smoke and that sort of thing. And the amount, like all the weed that I smell when I get, it's like, whoa, what's going on? I'm making it sound like we live in a crazy, I promise you it's a nice area, guys. It just goes to show the amount of weed that people smoke these days, how prevalent it is, right? And I'm just like, man, I'm usually in the gym at this time. Like, or I'm at jujitsu. Or we're walking, like, what are we doing, y'all? Like, this is the starter pack to, I'm so depressed. I'm so anxious. Oh, I can't, my health is tanking. I don't know what to do about it. I don't have time to do anything, but we're watching Netflix at 6 p.m. every day. You watched all the series. You've watched Game of Thrones 3 times over in the span of a week. Like, come on now, people. So I'm calling you out. And I want you as a listener of this podcast to call these mofos out. We need to get this population healthier, right? Sitting on your butt has its place, and everybody needs some time to sit on their butt. But as you heard the story that we're telling here, a lot of the good stuff happens when you're in motion, when you're creating, when you're expanding your perspective, when you're challenging yourself, when you're connecting with other people. That's where we thrive, right? That's how we built the circumstances for us to thrive as humans. Yes, relaxation has its place. Yes, recovery, of course, it's one of the pillars, has its place. And sometimes you just need to sit and read. Like I fantasize about sitting underneath a tree and reading for multiple hours nonstop. Fantasize about it. I would love that.
Okay.
But that can't be all the time, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, closing out. Anything you want to add, Jane?
No.
So guys, if you get the opportunity, we're very grateful. Thank you, Lord, that we get to travel a good bit. That's 2 international trips this year.
Yeah.
And we've been on a plane every month this year. So,
And
business, conferences.
Everywhere safely.
Yep. And we got to travel with my family on this one. And obviously, we're super grateful for those opportunities and memories are built that we'll be talking about 40 years from now if we're still here, God willing. So if you get the opportunity, definitely go on that adventure, go on that trip that you've been thinking about. Yeah, that's a show, guys.
Yeah.
Janie, where can they find us?
They can find us on our website, achievethelifestyle.com. There is an email. You can put the contact us or email us directly at info@achievethelifestyle.com. But the best way to reach us is on Instagram at achievethelifestyle.
Yeah, go down in the DM. Guys, if you have any questions, any topics that you want us to address on the show, definitely hit us with a DM, drop the question in there, and we'll answer it on the show and do a deep dive in there for you, and hopefully, answer questions for you, provide you with some value, and that you can share with others. That reminds me, like and share the show as well.
Leave us a review. 5 stars is preferable.
Yep. Also, if you need help with your health, guys, we know some people. We know some people. We can, get your blood work right. Get your gut health tested.
And that's what we do. We received another text message about how somebody has improved their health based off of ways that we've influenced and helped them. We'll share more about that on another episode, but that's makes us all worth it. So please share away.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Like, if you're working out, but you're not actually getting healthier, getting stronger, getting more capable, what are we doing? So we can help you with that.
Yep.
Janie and I can help you with that. We can help you get your workouts right, we can get your lifestyle right, get your eating right, get your blood work looking better, you know what I mean? In the optimal ways. Talk about that gut health, all that stuff. We're a one-stop shop. So hit us up, guys.
Yep.
With that in mind, that's a show. I want you to travel, experience life, experience this creation. You're meant to be inquisitive and be curious and find things out and always be learning. That's what you were built for, guys. And with that in mind, I need you to stay pharma-free. Thanks for listening to the PharmaPhobic podcast. If you found this conversation interesting, which I know you did, make sure to follow us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And also make sure to check us out on Instagram at Achieve the Lifestyle. And if you're interested in pursuing a stronger, healthier, more capable version of yourself, check out our website at achievethelifestyle.com.
The PharmaPhobic podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The views expressed are those of the hosts and guests and do not constitute medical, legal, or professional advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider before making any medical or wellness decisions. While we discuss pharmaceutical, holistic, and alternative health topics, our content is not a substitute for professional medical guidance.